Now at 10, we'll take you to the 65th Truman Day celebration. Plus, dog lovers and their furry friends gear up for the 4th annual Fast and Furriest Run. And Joplin, Missouri has its own Kentucky Derby celebration. We'll take you there.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
First responders in Neosho responded to a crash of a car traveling at excessive speed. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Anthony Saviello. The vehicle was traveling east on Iris Road and could not navigate the turn to NN. It flipped an unknown amount of times. The 4 occupants were all from Nebraska. 2 of them were ejected. All of the occupants suffered injuries and were transported to Mercy Hospital and Freeman West Hospital in Joplin. Witnesses say the car was traveling over 100 miles per hour. The Missouri State Highway Patrol and Asbury Fire Department responded to a car crash between 2 trains late Friday night. It looked almost as unbelievable as it sounds. A passenger car struck a slow-moving train and was disabled, and the driver got out as another train on an adjacent track was coming the other way. The car was smashed between the 2 trains. Amazingly, the driver only had minor injuries. It took a period of hours to separate the wreckage and inspect the trains and track before it was cleared. Troopers on scene told us they were conducting and investigating a DWI crash. The crossing in which the incident took place does not have arms or lights and was also the same place where a fatal crash took place in 2018. Well, meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us with a first look at our weather.
We did have some storms this morning, but we cleared out to have a really nice day for most of the day today. We do have some clouds rolling in. You can't see it. It's pretty dark out there, but we are starting to make those clouds move in as that rain pushes in later on tonight, a little bit closer to about 4 or 5 a.m. Temperatures across the region starting to dip down into the 50s, 55 in Iola, 59 in Nevada, but we still have some warmer temperatures, 67 in Grove, Miami J. So still pretty decent out there right now. We're not going to cool down too much tonight. We also have a flood watch still in effect for our Oklahoma and Arkansas counties. The rest of us are clear, but that flood watch is in effect until Sunday at 7 p.m. And we are expecting some widespread rainfall, heavy rainfall tomorrow morning and most of the day. So we're going to keep an eye on any type of localized flooding. And I'll have more details for you in just a bit.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. As we enter warmer weather, many people find themselves spending more time outdoors, especially on bikes. KOAM Samantha Walker has more on how the Joplin Police Department is helping riders stay safe on the road.
Like many kids, Grayson Wimsett loves riding his bike. So much so that he's ridden it to school every day this year.
I just like the freedom of being to move around wherever you want.
But Grayson also knows that there are steps kids like him have to take to be safe on the road, such as wearing a helmet.
So everybody can have an enjoyable time on a bike.
For the first time, the Joplin Police Department held a bike safety event where families could come and learn how to try to stay safe on the road.
You know, bicycle safety is huge in the warmer months because there's so many things that we have to be prepared for, such as cars or abrupt stops or anything that we might have to navigate around while riding the bikes. And as families start to get educated on different safety aspects, we can hopefully ensure that we've got safe riders on the roadways.
The event featured helmet giveaways and an obstacle course for riders to learn how to make difficult turns and follow a path. Several local organizations also joined in the event to help promote safety on the road. Blues Bike Company helped by performing safety checks on bikes to make sure they were safe to ride.
It makes you feel awesome, knowing that you're setting them up for success and pushing them in the right direction to be thoughtful about safety.
And even some of the young but experienced riders are happy to give advice to the next generation of bike riders as they take to the streets.
Wear a helmet and don't do wheelies. Because if you do a wheelie in the 5-year-old age, yeah. I already did a wheelie once, but not safe. Not safe. I almost fell over.
Reporting in Joplin, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
The Joplin Police Department also encourages drivers to be road aware as the amount of bikers increases in the summer months. The Kentucky Derby found its way to Missouri today. The Alliance of Southwest Missouri held its annual Kentucky Derby-style fundraiser. Attendees chose to pony up for a good cause at the event, which features simulated races and betting as well as a live stream of the actual derby. Guests were encouraged to dress to the nines, but they could also build their own fancy accessories at the Churchill Crowns Hat Bar. Proceeds from the event support the Alliance of Southwest Missouri, who is celebrating a few years of supporting area children and families this year. More rain is on the way after several inches fell across the region last week, and that means pests like mosquitoes will breed quickly in the standing water. Mosquitoes can lay their eggs in as little as a quarter inch of water and can lay hundreds of eggs at a time, which is why you need to do things if you're going to have holding water in your yard. Some of these things are the most effective way of eliminating mosquitoes from reproducing, but Nicolette Zangara has all the specifics.
Alleviate any kind of standing water, you know, whether that be bird baths or old tires or an old swimming pool or anything like that. That's the main thing that we really need to focus on, or the residents need to focus on, to help with our mosquito abatement efforts.
Some types of mosquitoes only need a bottle cap worth of water to lay eggs. The CDC reports the entire life cycle from an egg to an adult only takes 8 to 10 days. This means we'll be swatting and scratching soon, unless you decide to spruce up your green space with plants mosquitoes hate.
There's the citronella, which is a very common, it's actually a scented geranium, and you've seen your citronella candles, so we actually have the plant. Another very popular one is lemongrass. That's really good for your mosquito repellent. A lot of your herbs are good for mosquito repellents, especially the scented, like the lemon kind. So you could do a lemon thyme, or a lemon basil or lemon thyme, or just a regular sweet basil would work. Your sages work well.
Hansen also recommends lantana and marigolds as they tolerate the summer heat. Unless it's something water-loving like lemongrass, place pots of these plants near water retention areas to avoid root rot. The good news is the effects are almost instant.
Even if you don't have it planted just here in the pot, you're going to start to see the effects of it pretty soon.
Some cities spray a repellent late at night this time of year to only impact bugs like mosquitoes. While that can help, the first step is stopping their rapid reproduction. Coming up, how a Benton County, Missouri deputy jumped into action to save a woman's life. Plus, Missouri Southern takes on Northwest Missouri State on the baseball diamond. We'll have the highlights. The 65th annual Truman Day birthday celebration was held today in Lamar, Missouri. The celebration honors former President Harry S. Truman, who was born in Lamar. His birthplace is now a historic site. Those who attended were able to visit a multitude of vendors as well as tour the house that President Truman was born in. Today's celebration also had live music and a reenactment put on by the Lamar High School Theater Program.
Anyone in the United States can become president of these great states. I mean, here I was, a poor lowly farmer, rising to the ranks of the President of the United States. Anything is possible in this country because it's a great country built by great people.
The celebration was held from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and was free of charge for all those who attended. Pet lovers and owners went for a little run this morning in Joplin as the 4th annual Fast and Furriest Fun Run kicked off. The 5K run kicked off at 8 a.m. this morning. The fastest male and female dogs were both given awards, as well as the top 3 finishers overall and the fastest male and female human in each age group.
So today's event is going to bring awareness to the need that we have here in the 4 states as far as taking care of pets that are in need and helping out families who are in situations where they might need a little extra help taking care of their animals as well. It also raises the much needed funds to care for the animals that come through our shelter doors.
There was also a 1-mile fuzzy fun walk that kicked off at 9 a.m. for those just looking to get out and get moving. A woman is alive in Missouri thanks to a Benton County deputy. He ran into high water to save her during this week's flooding. Marina Silva spoke with the deputy about the tense rescue.
It was just after midnight on Monday morning when a woman was driving through here, but the water was too high and she ended up getting stuck. That's when a Benton County deputy was called out here and actually swam into the water to save her.
I could still hear her screaming help, and but I wasn't able to see her. I could just hear her, and she sounded closer than what I thought.
Even though he could only hear her screams, Deputy Marcus Burns got into the water.
I took my vest off and my duty belt to free up some weight and put the life vest on, and my goal was to walk out as far as I could until I started to swim and hopefully see her or get eyes on and see where she was. So I went ahead and went out there, and I could feel the current starting to pick me up, so I stopped right there. And
Deputy Burns spotted her clinging to a tree. He had to convince her to just let go.
After talking her into it and getting her off the tree and just letting go, she eventually did. The current took her to me, and I grabbed a hold of her. At that point, the water, it was approximately 4 or 5 feet deep. It was up to my chest.
EMS was able to check the woman out. She is okay. Benton County Sheriff Eric Knox says anyone on his staff would do this, and he's proud of Deputy Burns.
These guys, even though some of them are the same age as me, they're kind of like my family, my children, but we'd all do the same thing.
Deputy Burns says he would do it again.
I didn't want the last thing for her to see is guys just standing on dry ground. I wanted her to see somebody trying to get her, so that's what I did.
With these low water crossings, it can get dangerous really fast. Even 6 inches of water could be pretty dangerous. The best rule of thumb is turn around, don't drown.
Sheriff Eric Knox says it doesn't surprise him one of his deputies would do this. Deputy Burns said he would do it again in a heartbeat. One entertainment giant makes a bid to buy another major player and offers big dollars for it. A Forbes.com report says Sony Pictures and financial partner Apollo Global Management have bid $26 billion to buy Paramount Global. Paramount's properties include Paramount Pictures, the Paramount Network, BET, MTV, and CBS. A previous bid by Apollo of $27 billion for Paramount was not considered. It's not clear what the buy offer would currently change in properties if accepted. A little later, it's been a record month for tornadoes in the United States.
And we've got more severe weather coming up that we'll talk about right after the break. It's been a really great afternoon, but we are preparing for a really rainy day on Sunday. Unfortunately, that rain starts to push in pretty early, but right now, just some clouds in the area. Taking a look at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, still a pretty nice evening. We do, like I said, have that rain moving in right now, still outside of our area, just now making its way into Oklahoma. Now, we're not expecting any type of severe threat with this. We are going to expect some heavy rainfall and possibly localized flooding, especially since we've already seen a lot of rain over the last week. So we do have a very low risk for any type of severe storms. That main threat will be heavy rainfall. May still hear some thunder as well, but main threat is just going to be that rainfall and flooding. But we are looking at Monday with that enhanced risk for our counties out in Kansas and Oklahoma. The rest of us in Missouri and Arkansas, we're going to see more of an elevated risk for severe storms. Still likely to get those severe threats, tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail. But let's take a look at our Sunday future track. 4:30 a.m. we start to see this rain pushing in, and it's mostly going to be widespread heavier rain showers, but like I said, maybe still hear some thunder. It'll be pushing into the area off of our Oklahoma counties into Kansas first before making its way over to Missouri. So this is Sunday, 7 a.m. Still not quite made it into our Missouri counties, but we're going to continue to watch that move in further east. And then most of us be getting rainfall most of the day. This is 10 a.m. We're nearly covered across our entire region. And then here we go, 1:30, all of us getting that rain. Heavier rainfall by early afternoon is going to be mostly focused in southwest Missouri and even in our Arkansas County as well. Then it'll continue to push off east, clearing by later in the afternoon, closer to 8:30, and then we'll have a nice little break on Monday before we start to see that severe threat pop up. Now, taking a future look at that, 8 p.m. on Monday, we start to see that line of storms pushing in. Now, this is ahead of the dry line moving in, and this is where we're going to see those strong to severe thunderstorms spark up. they're going to continue to make its way in. We've got that line of storms by about 1 a.m. nearing our Joplin metro. But if you look behind it, we've got another line of storms. That is the dry line. So these storms are going to spark back up on the dry line as it pushes in early Tuesday morning. So about 2 a.m., that second round of storms will be pushing in. But that threat is mostly going to be pushing northeast. May not even hit Joplin, but that first line of storms will be hitting Joplin around 2 a.m. So we're going to keep an eye on that. We do have an alert day set for Monday due to those strong to severe thunderstorms moving in later in the evening and overnight hours. Then rain clears out Tuesday morning, and we have a cold front moving in Wednesday for another round of strong to severe thunderstorms.
Could be a busy week for you again.
It could busy couple days, but we'll have a break Thursday and through the weekend, so I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
Some calm weather.
Absolutely. Thanks, Lindsay. April's tornado count in the United States is now the second highest in the month on record. According to the National Weather Service, the U.S. had at least 300 tornadoes in April. On average, there are 182 tornadoes reported during the month. So far, 2024's first violent tornado was an EF4 that struck in Oklahoma on April 27th. Dozens of tornadoes also touched down in the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and into the Mid-Atlantic, more so than in the South. During the last week of April, more than 100 tornadoes were reported. Don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone, free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Coming up in sports, we have a photo finish at the 150th Kentucky Derby. Plus, Missouri Southern baseball looks to advance to Pittsburgh next weekend. Brock Baldridge has those highlights and more in sports.
On Friday night with a big win in Game 1 of round 1 of the MIAA tournament. Well, Southern can advance the next weekend in Pittsburgh with a win on Saturday. Well, here we go from Warren Turner Field. The Bearcats beat Southern in the regular season series, so Lions are looking for their revenge. We pick things up in the 5th inning. Lions trail 3-0. Will Doherty gets Southern on the board with an RBI single. That makes it a 3-1 game. Next batter to the plate is Garrett Rice, who steps up and hammers this ball into the gap as it bounces off of the turf and hits the fence. That allows 2 runs to come into score, and it's a 2-run double. The game is now tied 3-3 as Rice is fired up there at second base. Later in the inning, Southern leads 4-3. The local kid from Webb City, Tragan Parker, gets another run on the board here. RBI single. MSSU extends their lead 5-3, but the Lions finish the inning by scoring 5 runs in the 5th. So we go to the 6th inning now. Drew Townsend elevates this baseball. The outfielder is out of room, and it's out of here for a solo home run. Lions go on to win this game 10-4 as they eliminate Northwest. Southern advances to the semifinals round next weekend. Well, across state lines in Pittsburgh, the Gorillas are hosting Rogers State as they too sweep their series. The Gorillas win this game 6-1 and advance to the semifinal round. Austin Warkins, Hayden Dyer, and Nixon Brandon all homer in this one. Well, the Pitt State softball team continues to enter uncharted territory as the Gorillas have already won their first conference title since 1994, and now the Pitt State plays in the MIAA Tournament Championship game for the first time since 1995. Well, the Gorillas look to make history again, but they come up just short as this game goes into extra innings, but Rogers State wins the MIAA Championship 2-1 off of a walk-off base hit. And so the Hillcats are MIAA Tournament champs. The Gorillas will wait and see where they are seated in the Division II National Tournament next week. Well, the St. Louis Cardinals had a rough month of April. However, the schedule starts to line up for the Redbirds as they are now 6-4 in their last 10, and the Cardinals return home to Busch Stadium this weekend. St. Louis back at it, taking on the other team from the Windy City, not their typical foes. 5th inning as Nolan Arenado belts this ball deep into the outfield bleachers for a souvenir. That's a 3-run home run to give the Cards a 5-3 lead. Later in the 6th inning, same score as Corey Lee hits this ball sharply into center field, and that scores another 2 runs, and the White Sox tie the game off of a 2-run single. So now it's 5-5. We go to extra innings. Still tied up as the former Cardinal Tommy Pham gives the White Sox the lead right here with an RBI single to left field. Chicago now leads 6-5, and not long after that, well, the sky opens up. We entered what would be a 3-hour weather delay. The tarp's still on the field, and well, after the delay, we play on. Bases are loaded, game-tying run at third, and C.B. Buckner rings up Ivan Herrera. What an egregious call to end this game. White Sox take it 6-5. In Louisville, it's the 150th Kentucky Derby from Churchill Downs, and the crowd watches the most exciting 2 minutes in sports. And well, here they come. Down the stretch, Mystic Dan is in the lead, but here comes Sierra Leone and Forever Young. It's too close to call. What a race we had. It's a photo finish at the Derby. Take a look at the replay. They determine after the review that Mystic Dan, with 18-1 odds, wins by an eyelash, and he is your winner in the 150th Kentucky Derby.
Makes you wonder how big a horse's eyelash is.
You threw me off guard with that one.
Thanks, Brock. We'll be right back after this. A zebra's nearly week-long time on the run in Washington has come to an end. The mare was one of 4 zebras that had escaped from a trailer off Interstate 90 near North Bend last Sunday. Officials say Shug was finally found Friday evening in River Bend, which is about 30 miles from Seattle. Well, good to be back home, Shug. Final weather note.
Yeah, we've got some rain showers moving in tomorrow, but severe threat is very unlikely for any rain thunderstorms that spark up tomorrow. But we do have an alert day set for Monday. We could see some pretty severe threats with that.
And final sports?
Yeah, Crowder softball, they win the Region 16 tournament, so congratulations to the Rough Riders. And we have more exciting news with Anthony, actually.
Anthony is now officially a part of our weekend crew. We're happy to have him, so he'll be here now all the time.
I'm excited. It's always a pleasure working with you, Brock, and you, Lindsay, and of course the audience. Can't wait to be a part of it. That's our time for tonight. From all of us here at KOAM, have a great night.